Chapter 21. Is there an upper limit to the low-level troops? Sorry, my ants have no upper limit to th. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Is it difficult to collect resources? Fei didn't think so. His ant tribe went out to explore the environment around the territory. 1 unit of wood was just collected by chance. As for the dangers mentioned by these lords on the World Communication Channel, Fei did encounter them. However, compared with Fei's ant tribe, this is not a danger, because low-level wild monsters are unwilling to provoke his ant tribe army. And high-level wild monsters will not notice his ant tribe, or if they notice, they don't care at all and have no interest. For example, the green leaf snakes entrenched in the hardwood resource area. His ant tribe army collected hardwood, which was equivalent to destroying their nests, but they didn't dare to move, and on the way back from collecting resources, some wild monsters saw it, but they were not interested in interfering with his ant tribe army's transportation of wood. So, collecting resources is for Fei's ant tribe. On the contrary, it is the easiest and most relaxing. Moreover, in terms of resource collection, our own ants have an absolute advantage in numbers. At this time, during the time when the lords were discussing on the World Communication Channel, a large army of ants came back. Fei was the same. Let them eat the fountain of life to replenish their physical strength and heal their injuries. At this time, on the World Communication Channel, the Lord sighed, alas, if our low-level troops could be upgraded like high-level troops. Although everyone's troops have just been produced and their ranks are not high, the early development of low-level troops is still far less easy than that of high-level troops. Although it seems that low-level troops have some advantages over high-level troops in terms of quantity, the gap in rank is far from being made up by quantity. As soon as this was said, many lords who had awakened low-level soldiers felt the same way. Yes, when low-level soldiers are recruited, they are almost at the final level. They have no talent for soldiers and are not strong. They have no potential for upgrading. They cannot be compared with high-level soldiers. Although the production quantity of high-level soldiers is less than that of low-level soldiers, their growth potential is higher. If the levels are the same, the strength of high-level soldiers is stronger than that of low-level soldiers. Some high-level soldiers can even directly level up after they are produced. What's more, the production quantity of high-level soldiers may not be less than that of low-level soldiers. For example, Lin Feng, who has awakened S-level talent, can produce 60 violent war elephants a day, which many low-level soldiers cannot compare with. If low-level soldiers want to upgrade their ranks, they can only collect resources, develop their own territories, upgrade their own territories, and upgrade the barracks buildings in their territories before they have the chance to produce mutant soldiers or high-level soldiers. However, they still cannot be compared with the big guys who awakened high-level soldiers at the beginning. After all, the type of soldiers determines the upper limit of the soldiers. For example, if your soldiers are gunners, even if they mutate into gunners or upgrade to sharpshooters, they cannot be compared with the lords who awaken knights at the beginning. After all, knights are stronger than gunners. Knights can also be upgraded to light cavalry, heavy cavalry, and even mutated into spear and shield knights, which are both offensive and defensive. Not to mention those big guys who awaken chimera and two-headed dragons at the beginning. Their soldiers are born with their own talents, and they only need to level up to unlock their talents. Low-level soldiers can't compare. Our lords who have awakened low-level soldiers are born to collect resources. Even if they awaken high-level lord talents, it is useless. After all, the type of soldiers has determined the way the lord develops the territory. When the territories of those high-level soldiers become strong in the future, we can only rely on them. Be their workers who collect resources. I envy the bosses who have awakened high-level soldiers. I beg the bosses to give me some food. When I collect resources, I can exchange them for resources. NV+1. NV+1. Seeing this, Fei couldn't help but look at the undead ants in front of him, who numbered more than 300,000. Is there an upper limit to the level of low-level soldiers? Sorry, after awakening the SSSS level infinite devouring evolution talent, my ant tribe has no upper limit to its level. Theoretically, as long as it devours high-level items, whether it is biological or other things, my ant tribe can evolve infinitely, the upper limit will be infinitely raised. There is no such thing as no talent, because while devouring and evolving, my ant tribe has a certain probability of seizing an ability of other species. For example, after devouring the fountain of life, my ant tribe evolved into the undead ant tribe. Possessed the ability of self-healing. As long as it is not fatally injured, the injuries suffered by my ant tribe can be slowly healed by itself. Of course, as for the troop panel, why is this ability of the undead ant tribe not summarized as the talent of the undead ant tribe? Mo-Fei guessed, one is that the level of the fountain of life devoured by my ant tribe is too low, and the self-healing ability obtained is not strong. The second is that my ant tribe is currently only level 1, which has not reached the lowest level of the troop awakening talent, therefore, their self-healing ability is not enough to be classified as a talent, when they devour the high-level fountain of life to evolve. Or when their rank is upgraded, this ability should be their most important talent. Thinking of this, looking at the World Communication Channel, many people expressed envy of the high-level soldiers' screen-filling information. Mo-Fei shook his head and smiled. High-level soldiers, it seems like that. I don't seem to be very envious. They need to kill monsters to level up their soldiers and lords, and my ant soldiers only need to devour to upgrade and evolve. At the same time, the energy they devour can be used to upgrade themselves. In this way, my ant tribe is better. In addition, in fact, like low-level soldiers, high-level soldiers should also pay attention to avoid damage to the soldiers while killing monsters to level up. In terms of risk, high-level soldiers directly face wild monsters, and the risks they face are much higher than low-level soldiers who collect resources. And my ant tribe, the risk of collecting resources is very low. Because, basically, no wild monsters will be interested in a group of ants. Continue to browse the news on the World Communication Channel. At this time, a lord's speech caught Mo-Fei's attention. I have collected 20 units of wood, and a lord who wants to exchange resources is here. Request to exchange for food resources. Meat is best. You can add friends and form an alliance. Both parties will have priority in exchanging resources in the future. Ha! Mo-Fei narrowed his eyes slightly. This proposal seems good. Chapter 22. No, it's just 20 units of wood, why are you fighting over it? You are listening at MaleProtagonist. The Lord's territory and the Lord's troops will also produce hunger and fatigue. The Lord has just mentioned this. Fatigue can be eliminated by drinking the fountain of life. As for hunger, it can only be supplemented by food. I have collected 20 units of wood, and a lord who wants to exchange resources is here. Request to exchange for food resources. Meat is best. You can add friends and form an alliance. Both parties will have priority in exchanging resources in the future. At this time, I saw a message from a lord on the Territory Communication Channel. Mo-Fei's heart moved slightly. Hey! This proposal seems to be quite good. Because his ant tribe troops have an absolute advantage in numbers compared to other troops, in addition, most of the wild monsters in the forest are not interested in his ant tribe, therefore, Mo-Fei also plans to use resource collection as the main means of developing his territory. But in this way, a problem will arise. If I put the focus of the development of the territory on collecting resources, then I will definitely not have much time to get food. In addition, I have only found one wood resource so far. The ants that went out are still exploring and have not found wood resources yet. If I keep collecting wood resources, then the wood will definitely overflow. I have a serious shortage of wood resources, but I am in serious shortage of wood resources. So, exchange resources. Mo-Fei thinks this proposal is really good. The early stage of the Lord's development, improving one's own strength is actually secondary. The most important thing is to develop the Lord's own territory. Only by exchanging resources for resources and developing your own territory, the resources you collect will be transformed into the strength of the territory. Otherwise, you will collect a lot of resources but can only put them in the warehouse. There is nothing wrong with the improvement of the Lord's territory. As expected, just after this Lord proposed to exchange 20 units of wood for food, or meat, in the World Communication Channel, several messages immediately appeared. I can exchange food with you. Add a friend. I have meat. I wonder how many units of meat you want to exchange for these 20 units of wood. How about 20 units of wood for 2 units of meat? This price is very fair. If you are willing, let's add each other as friends. You put the wood in the space trading channel, set the exchange quantity, and specify that I am the trader. The one who exchanges for meat, don't trade with the floor, you are a black-hearted ghost. I am willing to exchange 5 units of meat for 20 units of wood with you. Don't argue, I am willing to give 8 units of meat. Seeing these messages, Mtlnovel's face was full of surprise. Not that bad, right? Why are their lords fighting for 20 units of wood? Moreover, this style of painting doesn't seem right? The lords who can trade meat must have awakened strong soldiers, otherwise, it is impossible to kill wild monsters to get meat. For just 20 units of wood, why are these big guys who can kill wild monsters still bidding against each other? From the perspective of survival, food is not a resource that all lords urgently need. You know, in the early stage of lord development, everyone's soldiers are not very strong. Some lords who have awakened low-level soldiers can't even kill wild monsters. They can only send their own soldiers to collect resources in exchange for food. In any case, the price of resources such as wood should be lowered as much as possible, and the price of meat resources should be increased. Mtlnovel doesn't quite understand, at this moment, the thoughts of several lords who are bidding wildly for 20 units of wood. Are these people crazy? They can't finish all the meat, are they so arrogant? However, looking at the 1,000 units of wood in his warehouse, Mtlnovel was very happy. Go ahead, the higher the price, the better it is for me. I don't have anything else, but I have a lot of soldiers. Let alone 1,000 units of wood, even if it's 10,000 units of wood, for me, it's just a matter of sending the ant army out. At this time, the world communication channel is open. Several lords who made bids started to quarrel with each other. How can you talk like that? Why am I so mean? Food is a resource that everyone is in urgent need of in the early stage. Look, how many lords are capable of killing wild monsters now? I'm offering 2 units of meat, the price is already very fair. Without food, the soldiers will be hungry. The strength of the soldiers in a hungry state will be greatly weakened, and the work efficiency will also be greatly reduced. You all know this, right? So, I offer 2 units of meat in exchange for 20 units of wood. Is there a problem? Bah, you speak better than singing. Zhou Baopi is not as evil as you. Lu, you said it very well. So, I offer 8 units of meat in exchange for 20 units of wood. What's the problem with you? I say, the people behind, do you understand the principle of first come first served? At this time, another lord joined the conversation, the brother who just said that wood is traded for food. If you don't have to have meat, I have some mushrooms and fungus here, which can be exchanged with you. The price is 2 to 1, 2 units of mushrooms for 1 unit of wood. Hey, that's too much. They're talking about meat, why are you here to join in the fun? It's a fair trade, they're offering 20 units of wood for trade, who they want to trade with is their business, you have no right to interfere. Besides, do you think everyone is stupid? No one can't understand the importance of developing the territory in the early stage. It's true that meat is a scarce resource, but wood and timber are important materials for all lords to level up their territories in the early stage. Well said, without wood, you can't level up your territories. What's the point of hoarding so much meat? Waiting for it to rot in the warehouse? To put it bluntly, when the territories level up, the troop level will also be raised, the troop strength will be stronger, and the troops will be more. Who can't kill the first level wild monsters? Food is probably only good for the first time, who will be short of food later? Seeing this, Mtlnovel suddenly seemed to understand something. Open the space trading channel. Sure enough, there are already a lot of resources in it by the lords, most of them are meat. The resources designated for exchange for these meat resources are wood and timber resources. Most of the prices are between 1:2 and 1:1. In other words, 1 unit of meat can be exchanged for 2 units of wood, or 1 unit of meat can be exchanged for 1 unit of timber. It is much lower than Mtlnovel imagined. This is actually a very low exchange rate. You know, this is still the first day of the Lord world, when everyone's arms are still very weak and the number is small. Many lords who have awakened low-level arms can't kill the first-level wild monsters outside at all because of the small number of arms. Wait until tomorrow, this exchange rate is expected to drop a lot. Chapter 23. Do you have to take a detour when encountering a level 3 wild monster? You underestimated. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. At this time, looking at the 1,000 units of wood in his warehouse, Mtlnovel couldn't help but fall into deep thought. Could it be that he overestimated the scarcity of meat resources? Or are resources like wood really difficult to collect? However, his 10,000 ants clearly collected them easily. Looking at the information on the World Communication Channel, Mtlnovel pondered for a while. Suddenly he slapped his thigh, and a smile appeared in his eyes. So that's it, Mtlnovel finally figured it out, so that's what happened. In the early stage of the Lord's development, improving the level of your territory is actually the most important thing. Its priority is even higher than improving the Lord's level and the rank of the army. This is actually very easy to understand. Because only by improving the level of the territory, the buildings in your territory can be upgraded and more buildings can be built. For example, Mtlnovel's current territory level is level 0, when his territory level is upgraded to level 1, maybe he can build 2 ant barracks. Assuming that he can build 2 ant barracks, then, at this time, the number of ants he produces has doubled. If Mtlnovel upgrades these 2 ant barracks, he will produce more ants in 1 minute. At the end of the day, the number of his ant army will be twice or even 3 times that before the territory level is upgraded. What is the concept? This means that after upgrading the territory level, the number of ants he produces in a day will exceed 10,000. Even after upgrading the territory level, there are more unlockable territory buildings. After the barracks are upgraded, the probability of finding high-level soldiers will increase, and so on. So, this can explain why a mere 20 units of wood can attract bidding among several big guys who have awakened high-level soldiers and have meat, even fight. Because, in the early stage of territory development, their troops have been leveling up, so naturally, they have no time to collect resources. Moreover, they can only let their troops level up, because, the number of high-level troops is generally less than that of low-level troops. In terms of collecting resources, they have no advantage over the lords who awaken low-level troops. Therefore, they want to upgrade their territory level and not be left behind by other lords. Only by hunting wild monsters and obtaining meat can they exchange wood and timber resources. This can explain, why is it the first day of the Lord's world, when food resources are so scarce, the exchange ratio of food, wood, and timber is not too outrageous. Moreover, it is the lords who have food who take the initiative to find players who sell wood to exchange. Because, everyone wants to upgrade their territory on the first day, upgrading your territory 1 step earlier can get ahead of others 1 step earlier. So, that means, I now have 1,000 units of wood. In fact, among all the lords, I am already considered one of the richest ones. Mtlnovel touched his chin and smiled. However, he did not forget that a lord just mentioned the issue of soldiers being hungry. Are you hungry? Do you want to eat food? Mtlnovel asked his ant colony. He planned to take some of the wood in the warehouse and exchange it for some food. Dear Lord, we are not hungry. Eating the fountain of life is enough to fill our stomachs. The ant colony replied. Mtlnovel was startled. He looked at the fountain of life beside him. Now, it seems that he has even saved food. Ha, that's not right, the ants don't need food, but I do. Thinking of this, Mtlnovel took 2 units of wood and exchanged them for 1 unit of meat as his dinner tonight. After waiting for more than half an hour, at this time, the number of the undead ant army under Mtlnovel has increased to a terrifying number of nearly 100,000. At a glance, the grass is full of dense ants. At this time, the ant colonies that went out to explore the surrounding environment of the territory have finally returned. After Mtlnovel let the returning ant colonies eat the fountain of life to restore their physical strength, he stood up. My loyal ant soldiers. Now, follow my instructions, go to collect wood resources. Received. My respected lord. .100,000 ants responded. Then, 100,000 ant army, a mighty force, set out, left the territory, and headed straight for the hardwood resource area that Mtlnovel had discovered before. Because of the information just received from the World Communication Channel, at this time, Mtlnovel also changed his mind, decided to collect resources today and upgrade the level of my territory first. As for the acid mud monsters in the quagmire, it won't be too late to deal with them tomorrow morning. After all, the improvement of the territory level is the biggest improvement for all lords. Mtlnovel seems to have overlooked one point: even the weakest ant tribe, when the number reaches a certain level, it is also a very terrifying thing. The so-called quantitative change leads to qualitative change. When an army of hundreds of thousands of ants marched toward the Jinmu resource area, along the way, almost all the first-level and even second-level wild monsters we encountered ran away. Even level 3 wild monsters, the moment they saw the swarms of ants all over the ground, they all stopped vigilantly, watch from a distance. No wild monster is willing to provoke so many first-order ants. Even if they look very weak. Because once you are targeted by them, your skin will peel off even if you die. In the territory, Mtlnovel saw this scene through the spiritual network. At this time, I couldn't help but secretly smack my tongue. I secretly thought to myself, did I underestimate the deterrent power of my ants? Through the web of the mind, Mtlnovel could see a third-level wind wolf and a third-level horned ox facing his own army of 100,000 ants. They all chose to stay away at the first opportunity. They are afraid of their own ant colony. Of course, even after seeing this scene, Mtlnovel was not impulsive. Let your ant army compete with the third-level wild monsters. These ant tribes are the foundation for the development of their territory. If the loss is too great, even if you kill a third-level wild monster, you will lose more than you gain. Hardwood forest area, when hundreds of thousands of ants arrive here, all the first-order green-leaf snakes on the tree did not dare to show their heads and shrank in fear. The 100,000 ant army was not polite to them either. Under Mtlnovel's life, climbed a tall tree. The speed at which they collect wood is even more shocking. It was nearly twice as fast as when Mtlnovel sent an army of 10,000 ants before. Originally, Mtlnovel was still calculating, the army of 100,000 ants may not have to wait until dark to collect enough units of wood. However, 2 hours before dark, the army of 100,000 ants has completed the collection of 10,000 wood. A total of 10,000 pieces of wood. Under the transportation of the ant army, he was transported back to Mtlnovel's territory. If other lords who have awakened low-level arms know, Mtlnovel's troops went there and collected 10,000 units of wood. I'm afraid your jaw will drop. Chapter 24. Night fell, and I did nothing all day, only collecting 40,000 pieces of wood. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. At this time, there were less than 2 hours until dark. While Mtlnovel's ant army was transporting wood back to its territory, many outsiders were training and collecting resources. Lords who were far away from their territory also chose to withdraw their troops. After all, this is the world of lords, there are dangers everywhere. The coming of night is often accompanied by the emergence of unknown dangers. And at this time, among the lords who have awakened low-level arms, he is the one who collects the most wood. Only 500 units of wood were collected. This is the limit that his peasant soldiers can collect without stopping at the end of the day. Moreover, this is because there is a rich timber resource area outside his territory. His farmers were not in danger of encountering wild monsters when collecting wood, so, after the collection is completed, the wood will be transported back to the territory immediately. Other lords who have awakened low-level arms are not as lucky as this lord. Their troops not only need to collect wood, but also be wary of wild monsters that appear at any time in the wood resource area. At the same time, when transporting wood back to your territory, you have to be careful of wild monsters on the road. There were even some lords who were very unlucky. No wood was collected, and many of the troops sent to collect wood were killed by wild monsters. But, even if 500 units of wood are collected at this moment, the lord who collects the most wood is the lord. There is still no comparison between the wood he collected and the wood Mtlnovel's ant army brought back after a trip to collect it. The Jinmu resource area is not close to Mtlnovel's territory. During this period of time when sent 4,000 ant clan troops to collect timber resources, in Mtlnovel's territory, another 40,000 ants were born. It's been less than 2 hours since dark, the sky gradually darkened. At this time, the ant army, which has collected timber resources, is on its way back to its territory. In MO-Fei's territory, he also used the spiritual net to pay close attention to the situation around the army. Ho ho! Ouch! The sun sets and shadows fall, the mist in the forest seems to have become thicker. White mist came from nowhere and filled the entire forest. Along with the appearance of thick fog, there is also the roar of unknown beasts in the forest. Some of these roars are far away, while others are not far away from the ant army. Through the spiritual network, Mo-Fei could clearly hear their roars. The roars of these beasts reached his ears, and Mo-Fei couldn't help but become slightly nervous. Fortunately, these powerful beasts did not seem to notice the ant colonies crawling on the ground, or maybe not interested. The ant colony had no dangers along the way. The sky has completely darkened, night is coming. The forest outside was completely shrouded in thick fog, making it difficult to see clearly. Only the golden protective cover above the territory exudes a faint golden light. Dear Lord, we are back from collecting wood. A densely packed ant army of 40,000 appeared in the territory. One by one, the ants raised their front jaws high, holding small pieces of wood in their pliers. Mo-Fei finally let go of his hanging heart. Collect. Mo-Fei pointed his finger. All the wood in the ant colony's pliers disappeared, and there are 40,000 more units of wood in the warehouse. Plus the previous one, a total of 42,000 wood. That's right. In fact, the number of ants sent to collect wood this time exceeded 40,000. Soldiers, you did a great job this time. Make persistent efforts. Mo-Fei praised. Dear Lord, it is our honor to help you. The ant colony replied. Mo-Fei arranged for these 40,000 ants to drink from the fountain of life to replenish their physical strength. Take a break, and this time, the more than 40,000 ants that had just arrived in their territory also sent a message to Mo-Fei. Dear Lord, we are ready, please arrange tasks for us. We also want to do our part for the master. Glancing outside the territory, I could see the thick fog that made me unable to see my fingers. Mo-Fei pondered for a moment and smiled. Okay, don't rush it yet. Everyone in the family has a share in building the territory. Night falls, the misty forest is entirely shrouded in thick fog. What's going on outside the territory? Whether there are other unknown dangers present is currently unknown. Mo-Fei was not reckless. During the day, he was already inside the forest. Many ants were left behind to continue exploring the forest. Now, just need to wait, it won't take long. He knew what was going on in the misty forest at night. Then decide whether your ant soldiers should go abroad. After arranging his own army of tens of thousands of undead ants, the territory is rested and on standby. Mo-Fei returned to the cabin. Get a unit of fierce pork exchanged during the day. Material, first order fierce pork. Level, normal, white. Introduction, ordinary meat. Eating it can satisfy hunger and replenish physical strength. Other than that, it has no other effect. Lord World, materials and equipment levels are the same, divided into ordinary, white, excellent, green, excellent, blue, epic, purple, legend, orange, legend, gold, myth, 3 colors, super myth, 5 colors, creation, 7 colors, 0.9 levels. The first level ferocious pork is just the lowest level ordinary material. Apart from satisfying hunger, it has no other special effects. However, Mo-Fei has no other needs. As long as you satisfy your hunger, that's enough. Today is the first day in the world of lords. The troops of the family are generally not very strong. It is estimated that not many lords can get the meat of high-level wild monsters. In the wooden house, the kitchen utensils and seasonings are all available. Turn on the heat, brush the pork with oil and put it on the frying pan. Mo-Fei prepared to make a simple fried pork chop for himself. At the same time, open the world communication channel, look at what other lords have gained today and how their territories are developing. Today is a day, in addition to collecting 42,000 units of wood. Mo-Fei felt that he didn't actually do much. More time was spent exploring the environment around the territory. Well, there is also the only SSS level talent that has received world rewards, the web of the soul. Think of the web of the mind. Mo-Fei couldn't help but sigh. This technique is really useful. You can communicate with your own ants without any barriers. At the same time, I, who is in the territory, can also switch my perspective to the ant colonies outside at any time to understand their situation. Chapter 25 Danger at Night. Dark Army Lord, the bigger the wind and waves, the more expensive the fi. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. Just when Mtlnovel opened the World Communication Channel, at this time, the world's prompt suddenly sounded in the minds of all players. Prompt, night is coming. Some sleeping powerful creatures have awakened, and dark creatures are coming out. In the dark, all attributes of dark creatures, arms, are enhanced by 30%. Depending on the level and type, all attributes of dark creatures can be enhanced up to 50%. Please pay attention, lords. As this prompt appeared, the World Communication Channel, damn. In the dark, powerful creatures awaken. What creatures? Could it be undead, werewolves, dark elves, ghouls and other creatures? All attributes are enhanced by 30%, are you so perverted? Barbecue. I wanted to sneak out to practice a wave of levels in the dark, while the wild monsters were resting, but now it's gone. Go to bed, I have killed monsters all day, and monsters are everywhere at night, so I'd better be careful. Alas, there is no way. I wanted to secretly collect some resources while the monsters were asleep at night, but now this prompt shows that it is basically impossible. The monsters are getting stronger, and it would be a waste of time if I lose my troops for those resources. Okay, my troops are tired all day, so let them rest, and take stock of the harvest. I will get up early tomorrow morning to level up. The person above, you guessed it right, my awakened troops are ghouls. Now, it's my turn to appear. Appearance +1. My awakened troops are undead knights. All attributes +30%, don't be too cool. Army werewolf, come and report. Dark bat, come and report. Just when most of the lords were lamenting that the night was coming and the dark creatures were roaming, the lords who had awakened the dark army were very excited and came out one after another. During the day, their army had no advantage in leveling up. At night, the attributes of all the army were enhanced by 30%, which was an opportunity for them to speed up the development of the territory. Some lords were jealous and said coldly, Don't be too happy, your army's ability has been enhanced at night, but the abilities of those wild monsters have also been enhanced. You can't level up by yourself, but you are leveled up by the wild monsters. Do you still need to remind me of this? Leveling up at night is definitely more dangerous than during the day. However, the risk is high and the return is also high. Haven't you heard that the bigger the wind and waves, the more expensive the fish? Besides, can't I avoid those dark creatures and find those sleeping wild monsters to level up? The Lord who awakened the dark army is obviously not a fool, some powerful creatures will awaken at night. This reminder alone shows that the night is much more dangerous than the day. However, high risks often indicate high returns. Everyone's development during the day is similar. If you want to widen the gap with others, how can you not take some risks? There are even some lords who have awakened high-level arms. Although the arms are not dark creatures, at this moment, they are confident that their arms are powerful, and they are also a little eager to move. There are billions of lords who have entered the Lord world. It is definitely difficult to widen the gap with others if you often level up and develop. If you want to stand out from the many lords and get rewards in the ranking, taking some risks is inevitable. At this time, Dark Abyss, a black-clothed youth stood on a white-bone dragon, looking at the information on the World Communication Channel. After closing the Lord panel, Qing looked up at the night sky and murmured, "The hunt has begun." For a whole day, Qing's barracks only produced 2 undead bone dragons, but these 2 undead bone dragons. One is level 2. The other is level 3. On the edge of the cliff of the abyss, a team of about 10 level 1 ghouls were climbing and looking for food. A gust of wind blew, a giant dragon with snow-white bones appeared behind them. Before the ghouls could react, the bone dragon opened its mouth and spewed out a mouthful of snow-white cold flames. Burn all 10 ghouls to death. Oh, my pork chop. Looking at the information on the World Communication Channel, Mtlnovel almost forgot to turn the pork chop over. he quickly turned the pork chop over and sprinkled some seasoning on it. After waiting for a while, the pork chop exuded a burst of meaty aroma mixed with seasoning. Mtlnovel took a plate and put the pork chop on the table. He continued to think about the world prompts while eating. Soon, a large piece of pork chop was finished, and there was a hint of smile in Mtlnovel's eyes. He cleaned up the dishes. Mtlnovel sat under the crystal for lighting. It was just the beginning of the night, and he was not in a hurry at all, because of the darkness. Now the world communication channel has almost been flooded with lords who have awakened the Dark Army. Lords of other arms have basically no chance to speak. Few people come out to report their gains today. After watching for a while, Mtlnovel opened the space trading channel, to upgrade the territory from a primary village to a level 1 village. 1,000 units of wood and 1,000 units of wood are required. Mtlnovel now has a total of 42,000 units of wood in the warehouse. The number of materials is 0, so, take advantage of the time when the lords who awakened the Dark Army are flooding the world channel. Mtlnovel was going to exchange some wood to upgrade his territory. He opened the space trading channel. Mtlnovel browsed through it roughly. He found that most of the lords exchanged meat for wood and meat for wood. The exchange ratio of meat to wood was mostly between 1 to 2 and 1 to 2.5. The exchange ratio of meat to wood was basically maintained at 1 to 1. Of course, these meats were basically the meat of first and second level wild monsters, that is, meat of ordinary level. If it was excellent, green, level meat, the exchange ratio should be higher. However, Mtlnovel browsed more than 100 lord stalls that put meat on the shelves for trading. He did not find anyone trading excellent level meat. It shouldn't be. Mtlnovel was a little confused. When I was watching the information on the World Communication Channel today, a lord mentioned that there is a chance to collect excellent level meat by killing wild monsters above level 3. It means that he must have killed wild monsters of level 3, otherwise he would not know this information. Mtlnovel thought about it. There are billions of lords in the lord world, and there are many lords who have awakened high-level soldiers. If there is no lord who has the ability to kill wild monsters above level 3, the probability is almost 0. So, it should not be that no one can kill wild monsters above level 3, it is not that no one has collected excellent level meat, it's just that excellent level meat should be relatively rare at present. Even if people collect it, they will not take it out for trading, or it may have been exchanged by someone as soon as it was put on the shelf. It seems that eating meat above the excellent level should have some special effects. Mtlnovel thought secretly, I am also a little curious about what effect eating meat of higher level has. Unfortunately, the meat on the shelf on the space trading channel now is all ordinary level meat, failed to satisfy Mtlnovel's curiosity. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula, _tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target _type, mix. Chapter 26. There are still few good people in this world, and each one is more evil than the other. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. After discovering that there is no outstanding level meat to exchange for, Mtlnovel used the search function of the space trading channel to directly search for wood, prepare to see if there are many wood lords on the frame, and the exchange ratio between wood and stone, and Mtlnovel was a little surprised. Compared to trading meat lords, there are not many lords trading wood, only 8 pages, based on 100 lord stalls per page. There are at most 800 lords trading wood. There are billions of lords, but only 800 lords are trading timber resources. And, among these 800 lords, the largest number of transactions was only 150 units of wood. Mtlnovel curiously opened the stall that traded 150 units of wood, found him wood, designated exchange resource stone. The exchange ratio is 1.5 to 1, in other words, 15 units of wood can be exchanged for 10 units of stone. If the calculation is based on the price of 1 to 2 exchange for meat for wood and 1 to 1 for stone, this lord is offering 150 units of wood in exchange for 100 units of stone. The price is obviously a bit high. Generally speaking, it should be 2, 1, no wonder it's still hanging on my face. Next, Mtlnovel clicked on a few more wood trading stalls to see how they set the wood exchange ratio. There is no doubt that the prices of these lord settings are relatively high. Of course, it cannot be said to be on the high side. After all, price determines. If someone sells it, someone will definitely buy it. If there are many lords selling wood, the wood exchange ratio will inevitably drop, but, for now, resources like wood are in short supply. And after looking at the prices at several timber trading stalls, Mtlnovel was surprised. A conclusion was also drawn: the Lord is number one in the world, and everyone is very scarce in resources such as wood and stone. At this time, looking at the 42,000 units of lumber in my warehouse, the corners of Mtlnovel's mouth couldn't help but twitch slightly. Waiting for the Ming dynasty, the exchange ratio of meat resources and wood is expected to decrease. The value of my 42,000 units of wood can still increase. But, the ants themselves can fill their stomachs by eating the spring of life. Mtlnovel doesn't have much need for food. Mtlnovel decided to save these 42,000 units of wood to see what resources he would be scarce in the future, and then exchange them. Next, Mtlnovel searched for stones in the space trading channel. Stone trading stalls appeared one after another on the space trading channel. And after looking at the number of stalls trading stone, Mtlnovel frowned slightly. Trading stone lords has fewer lords than trading wood. There are only pages, or hundreds of lords trading stones, and each lord stall trades not many stones. I don't know why stone resources are not so easy to find, or why stone is more difficult to collect than wood. In total, the maximum number of stones traded is one stall, which only trades 50 units of stones. Moreover, the other party specified a ratio of wood to be exchanged, 1:3. 1 unit of stone can be exchanged for 3 units of wood. This is more or less a bit dark. Certainly, after all, if all the trading stone stall owners buy up all the stones, Mtlnovel collected the 1,000 stones needed to upgrade his territory, which was more than enough, but these stone trading stalls generally have a high redemption ratio. What's more, it is also marked that 1 unit of stone can be exchanged for 5 units of wood at an outrageous price. The main theme is that rare things are more valuable. Although I have 42,000 units of wood in my warehouse, even if the exchange ratio is 1:5, Mtlnovel also has enough wealth to buy 1,000 units of stone to upgrade his territory, but Mtlnovel didn't want to be taken advantage of. Look at the space trading channel. These trading stone stalls. Mtlnovel began to slowly and patiently look through their transaction prices page by page. The ant tribe sent out to find the stone resources has not found it yet, and next, if you want to upgrade the territory level and territory buildings, the stone materials required will definitely not be a small amount. Even Mtlnovel could accept being taken advantage of and slaughtered once. It is also impossible to accept being taken advantage of every time. Therefore, Mtlnovel decided to find a reliable stone trading stall owner with fair prices, make an agreement with the other party, with a fixed transaction ratio, use stones to exchange for the stones you need from the other party. Of course, a stall owner may provide a limited number of stones, which is not enough for Mtlnovel. Mtlnovel plans to negotiate an agreement with a few more stall owners. However, there are still few good people in this world. Each of these stall owners is more sinister than the last. Mtlnovel flipped through 3 pages. There is no stall owner, and the exchange ratio is 1:2, all are 1:3 with. Just when Mtlnovel was mentally prepared to be taken advantage of and turned to the 4th page, at this time, a stall suddenly came into view of Mtlnovel. Little man, this is the name of this stall. Of course, the point is not its name, and the exchange ratio of stone and wood is 1:2. In this, little man's house, after Mtlnovel looked at 300 stalls of black-hearted merchants, he suddenly felt a breath of fresh air. Moreover, it trades stone and has 30 units. Mtlnovel clicked into this stall, and when looking at the stall and trading another item, Mtlnovel couldn't help but look surprised. Item, fine iron, show, high-end materials required after upgrading the territory in town, which are relatively rare. Transaction quantity, 100 units, specified exchange, wood, exchange ratio, 1:5. Judging from shale, fine iron is also a material for upgrading territory level. Moreover, it is rarer than wood and stone. Mtlnovel didn't even think about it. Just after entering the first place in the world of lords, someone collected fine iron. Moreover, it also contains 100 units of refined iron. The most important thing is, the exchange ratio between fine iron and wood is only 1:5. Based on the current market price, Mtlnovel can deduce that the difficulty of collecting wood is less than the difficulty of collecting stone. As for this refined iron, judging from its rarity, it should be more difficult to collect than stone. Moreover, it may be harder to find refined iron resources. Because of, Mtlnovel sent out ants to find a place with refined iron resources, such a rare material. The owner of this, little man, stall gave me a ratio of to wood, which was only 1 to 5. Mtlnovel instantly felt that he had made a fortune, so, these fine irons were just put on display. Did you miss them? Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target _type, mix. Chapter 27. I didn't expect that there are such honest people in this world. Dwarf Lord Jiang Yunling. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. At the same time, in a dark mine, a territory covered by a golden novice protective shield, a little lowly wearing a JK uniform and white socks was sitting on a chair, holding her chin with both hands, with a sad face. Beside her, there were many dwarf miners. Damn, these refined irons were mined by the dwarf uncles with great effort. Why is no one trading? That looking at the Lord panel in front of her, Jiang Yunling pouted and said angrily, these people are really blind and don't know the goods. That she looked up at the dwarf miners around her and saw that they were all looking at her expectantly. She felt even more uncomfortable, with tears in her eyes. I'm sorry, Uncle De Hu, I'm really sorry. I couldn't sell any of the refined iron you collected with great effort. Jiang Yunling almost couldn't hold back her tears. Today, her dwarf soldiers worked hard to mine refined iron and stone, and hardly had any rest, but as a lord, she couldn't even do this little thing. She couldn't even sell any of the refined iron they collected with great effort. Dear Lord, you don't have to blame yourself. As your subordinates, building the territory is what we should do. The bearded dwarf smiled and comforted. It doesn't matter if the refined iron can't be sold. Maybe it can be sold in a few days. Besides. The bearded dwarf paused. Didn't you exchange the stone we collected later for food? Yes, dear Lord, the meat you exchanged for is delicious when cooked into soup. I just ate 2 big bowls. I ate more than 1 bowl and now I feel full of strength. Yeah, me too. That the other dwarves also smiled and comforted. But. Looking at their lovely smiles, Jiang Yunling opened her mouth and wanted to say something, but she didn't know what to say. She just felt more uncomfortable. She also wanted to work with them to build a better and stronger territory. Dear Lord, there is nothing to worry about. The bearded dwarf said softly, please relax. With our hard-working dwarves, we will work hard to create a beautiful and rich territory for you. That the bearded dwarf raised the pickaxe in his hand and said loudly, brothers, we are all full and strong now, right? Yes, that the dwarves responded while holding up their pickaxes. The bearded dwarf asked again, what should we do now? It's time to work, that the dwarves replied loudly. One by one, the dwarves carried their pickaxes and walked out of the territory. They hummed a ballad while walking. Hardworking dwarves create wealth with your hands, bring happiness with your hands. Hey, brothers, that the bearded dwarf reminded, don't make the wrong dig this time. Let's dig those easy-to-dig stones. These stones are easy to sell. Got it. The dwarves responded. Then, all the dwarves started knocking in the mine cave. Looking at the dark night, they climbed up the stone. The short figures knocked hard. Jiang Yunling finally couldn't hold it back. Tears fell. She curled up her legs, buried her head in her legs, and sobbed softly. When Jiang Yunling was sobbing softly, at this time, the information in the right corner of the Lord panel in front of her suddenly flashed. Hey, is someone buying something? Jiang Yunling quickly stopped sobbing and opened the space trading channel. She put up a 100-unit refined iron that no one wanted, and now it has been bought. Her warehouse, which originally only had 200 units of wood, now has 500 more units of wood. Moreover, DUI sent her a message. Mtlnovel, hello, can we cooperate? Mtlnovel, add a friend, sincere cooperation. Seeing DUI's friend request, Jiang Yunling quickly added it. How to cooperate? Mtlnovel, I have a lot of wood, we can exchange resources. Sure. Jiang Yunling almost jumped up with excitement. She already has 1,000 units of stone in her warehouse. which was collected by the dwarf miners when they were collecting refined iron. Adding the 100 refined irons just sold, she now has a total of 700 units of wood. There is still 300 woods left, and her territory can be upgraded. Jiang Yunling calmed down and asked, "How do you want to exchange? What is the ratio?" "Mo Fei, I sincerely cooperate, please give according to the market price. 2 units of wood for 1 unit of stone, I want as much as you have. Also, from today on, don't sell the refined iron you sell to others. According to the exchange ratio you set, 1 to 5, I want as much as you have." The price Mo Fei gave was very fair. Moreover, in the mine, Jiang Yunling really couldn't collect other resources except stone and ore. If Mo Fei is always willing to trade wood with himself, then his own territory will not worry about the development problem. There are a lot of stones in the mine, there is no end to the stone. However, the Hu and a few dwarves are elite miners, and they mine stone very quickly. Jiang Yunling is still a little worried. What if he mines too much stone and Mo Fei doesn't have enough wood to exchange? Especially when he saw that Mo Fei even wanted refined iron, Jiang Yunling couldn't help but be a little surprised. "You want refined iron too? Mo Fei, is there any problem?" "No, I don't mean anything else. It's not easy to find a rich and powerful boss who is willing to cooperate with me and exchange wood for refined iron and stone," Jiang Yunling hurriedly explained. "I'm just a little worried that you don't have enough wood to exchange. Although refined iron is also a material for building a territory, it will only be available after the town is upgraded. If you don't have enough wood in the early stage, you don't have to exchange it for refined iron. I can save it for you first and promise not to sell it to others. You can exchange it later when you have more wood." In the room, when he saw Jiang Yunling's last sentence, Mo Fei couldn't help laughing, from the conversation with this lord named Jiang Yunling. He obviously knew the role of refined iron. He was also worried that his wood was not enough for exchange, so he reminded himself. "I didn't expect that there would be such an honest person in this lord world, it's rare." Mo Fei, who had just flipped through the pages and browsed hundreds of profiteers' stalls, was touched at this moment. However, the tone of the lord was too big. Looking at the 42,000 units of wood in his warehouse, Mo Fei smiled lightly and replied, "It doesn't matter, if you have refined iron, you can trade it here. There is enough wood. Do you have stone to trade now? I can trade 1,000 units of stone with you first, and show my strength by the way." If even the 42,000 units of wood in the warehouse are not enough for trading, Mo Fei didn't know who else could trade with Jiang Yunling. Chapter 28. A new face appears on the ranking list. Lin Feng is on the list. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. The other party wants to trade 1,000 units of stone first. Jiang Yunling was stunned for a moment, soon realized, the other party is also anxious to upgrade the territory level just like him. It's just that what I lack is wood, and what the other party lacks is stone. If the other party is not boasting, he does have a lot of wood. Looking at 1,000 units of stone in the warehouse, Jiang Yunling hesitated slightly. Her dwarf miners used to mainly collect refined iron. This thing is not mined. Quickly, only 100 units can be mined per. The key is to sell it. It wasn't until I hung up on it that I realized I didn't have any fine iron to buy. Jiang Yunling then quickly asked the dwarfs to mine the stone. Therefore, there are actually not many stones in her warehouse, just enough for her own upgrade. But soon, Jiang Yunling replied, "Can." After replying, Jiang Yunling took out all the stones in the warehouse. A full 1,000 units of stone were placed on the stall. The designated transaction was Mo Fei, and the exchange ratio was 1 to 2. Just put 1,000 units of stone on the stall. Jiang Yunling's eyes widened instantly. To 1 second, 1,000 units of wood were seconds. Trading, is Mo Fei. Thanks. When 1,000 units of stone material entered the warehouse, Mo Fei was in a good mood. Happy cooperation. Yuri welcome. Looking at the total of 2,700 units of wood in the warehouse, Jiang Yunling was also very excited. Then let's make an agreement. If I am short of wood in the future, I can also trade with you. Certainly. Mo Fei smiled. Have we already added friends? If you need wood, you can ask at any time. As he said that, he added, Now, do you still need wood? Jiang Yunling, it is needed for the time being. Jiang Yunling's face turned slightly red. All her stones had just been traded to the other party, and now there was no stone left to trade. Yes, it turns out, the decision she just made was the right one. This guy Mo Fei is probably a big boss. He has more wood reserves than he thought. 1000 stone, such a big boss to cooperate with, is worried about the wood resources she will need to upgrade her territory in the future. As for her territory, it doesn't matter if she upgrades later. With these 2,700 units of wood, we just need to wait for the dwarfs to mine enough stone. Her territory can be upgraded. Mo Fei, if nothing happens, let's talk next time. Jiang Yunling, okay. The transaction with Jiang Yunling was completed. Mo Fei closed the space trading channel. Get ready to upgrade your territory. At this time, the chat content on the World Communication channel attracted Mo Fei's attention. Those guys who awakened the Dark Arms finally stopped. You must have gone out to kill monsters, right? To be honest, I really envy these guys. They can level up at night. What is there to be envious about? We go out at night and decide who will give experience to whom. Hey, have you seen the rankings? I just took a look, and the rankings have finally changed. That garbage unit territory has been pushed out of the first place. TSK, I noticed it when I was getting off. I had already been squeezed off by. Now it has dropped to 7th place. What the hell? Dropped to 7th place? I'll go take a look. I also watched it. The ranking list has been changed to Mr., and there is a new face of Mr. Damn it, boss Lin Feng is also on the list, now ranked 6th. See here, Mo Fei was slightly startled, huh? Yes, I seem to have killed an acid mud monster today, and gained a few energy points from picking up corpses. The total seems to be only 11 energy points. Why is it still on the ranking list? Mo Fei glanced at his Lord rank. It suddenly dawned on me, Lord, Mo Fei, strength, level 1, energy points, 896/1000. I forgot that today, the number of my ants has reached 800,000 plus. They swallowed the fountain of life and evolved into a tribe of dead ants, which also gave their own little energy points. Counting today, I spent most of my time exploring the environment near the territory and collecting wood resources. No monsters were killed. At this moment, the energy points have increased to 896 points. There is only more than 100 energy points left to upgrade to the 2nd level Lord. I am now only 104 energy points away from the 2nd level Lord. The Lords in front of me should all have reached the 2nd level Lord level, right? Mo Fei clicked on the ranking list out of curiosity. Lord level ranking. 1st place, territory of the Lord of Thunder, Lord Chu Kuang, level, 2nd level. 2nd place, Holy Light territory, Lord Xiao Xiao, level, 2nd level. 3rd place, Dragon territory, Lord XXX, level, 2nd level. 4th place, territory of the God of Night. No, have you seen the big territory? Level, 2nd level. 6th place, War Elephant Kingdom territory, Lord Lin Feng, level, 1st level. 7th place, Junk Unit territory, Lord XXX, level, 1st level. 8th place, 10th place, Undead Natural Disaster territory. Sure enough, Mo Fei's guess was right, the top lords have all reached the 2nd level of territory. And, looking at the names of the territories, they should all be lords who have awakened high-level arms. As for the Poison Arrow Archer territory, the Storm Lion territory, and the Chimera territory that were on the ranking list this morning, they have all fallen off the ranking list. Correspondingly, a new face appeared. For example, the territory of the God of Darkness, the territory of the Undead and the Natural Disasters, and the territory of the Giant Dragon. Mo Fei opened the territory level ranking list again. Territory level ranking, none. I saw the word none. Mo Fei was stunned for a moment, then relieved. It means that now is, and all players' territory levels are still primary villages. If you think about it carefully, this is actually quite normal. On the first day of traveling through the world of lords, all the lords have a large number of soldiers. If you want to collect 1,000 wood and 1,000 stone, it is really difficult even for the awakened low-level unit lord. What's more, maybe every lord is so lucky that he can find both wood and stone resources at the same time. For example, Mtlnovel himself, at the end of the day today, he only found wood resource areas, but he has not yet found stone resource areas. This is still the result of Mtlnovel's ant tribe, which can ignore the threats of wild monsters outside the territory and freely search in the misty forest. Other arms types, while looking for resource areas, also face the possibility of wild monsters appearing at any time. You can imagine the difficulty. In addition, even after finding these two resource areas, the Lord still has to consider the resource areas and the various wild monsters on the resource transportation routes. So, as a result, at the end of the first day, no Lord has been able to gather the resources to upgrade his territory. Of course, if all the lords are willing to trade the wood and stone resources they have collected, there must be someone who can upgrade the territory to an intermediate village. However, the problem is, all lords understand the importance of upgrading their territory. In addition to exchanging necessities such as food, before the lord's resources are overflowed, they will basically trade them. For example, Jiang Yunling just traded with Mtlnovel. The other party has obviously saved 1,000 units of stones, but there are only 30 units of stones on the stall. If he had reached a cooperation with Mtlnovel and happened to need wood, Jiang Yunling would be willing to trade 1,000 units of stone in his warehouse to Mtlnovel. After all, who wants to upgrade their territory first and quickly? One step is slow, and will be slow every step. If you upgrade one day late, you will fall behind many other lords. It's very difficult to catch up. Chapter 29 Lin Feng, ranked 6th in the Lord ranking, all thanks to my own efforts. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. Think of this, Mtlnovel didn't care whether his territory, being the first among all the territories to be upgraded to an intermediate village, would arouse discussion from other territories. Developing your own territory is the last word. Directly spend 1,000 units of wood and 1,000 units of stone in the warehouse, upgrade your territory to an intermediate village. The moment when the territory is upgraded to an intermediate village, I saw Mtlnovel's entire territory. A golden light fell. At the same time, the reminder of the world rang in Mtlnovel's mind. Somewhere in the wasteland of the world, the cool night breeze blows. Lin Feng stood at the door of the wooden house, enjoying the night breeze, and glanced at his collar panel. Energy points, 999/1000. Looking at his collar panel, Lin Feng had a trace of regret in his eyes. Just a little bit, just a little bit closer. You can become the 6th leader on the ranking list to upgrade to the 2nd level. But, after all, it was just a little bit off. Night is coming. He looked up at the huge black shadows flying across the desert sky from time to time under the night. Lin Feng hesitated for a long time, still didn't dare to take the risk and send his violent war elephant out for hunting. At this time, not one of his 10 violent war elephants is missing. The highest level violent war elephant has been upgraded to the 2nd level. The distance to upgrade to the 3rd level is less than half of the energy points. Losing any one of these 10 war elephants would be an unacceptable loss to him. It's just a little short of energy points. Tomorrow morning, I can upgrade to the 2nd level leader. Earlier or later, it doesn't matter. Lin Feng comforted himself. In another 3 hours, his barracks will produce 10 more violent war elephants. By then, he would have 60 violent war elephants. Wait until tomorrow, he can produce 60 violent war elephants. As long as the number of his soldiers does not decrease, his leveling speed will only get faster and faster. Therefore, there is really no need to risk leveling at night. Open the leaderboard. Lin Feng first took a look at the leaders ranked above him and secretly cheered him up. Then, he set his sights on the territory of the garbage unit that was one behind him. It seems that this morning, he was still ranked first, but now he has been stepped on by himself and fallen into the territory of the 7th ranked garbage unit. Lin Feng couldn't help but smile slightly and was in a good mood. What if the leader of the garbage troop territory gets the SSS level? Talent as a world reward? That's all. He had already said so. This person has awakened a low-level unit. No matter how many there are, it is not a cause for concern if he is ahead of other leaders in the early stage. After all, how can the growth potential of low-level arms be compared with the violent war elephant whose growth potential is holy level? It seems now, my guess was correct. After a quick upgrade in the morning, the territory of this garbage unit has already consumed a lot of troops, now I am running out of energy. Give yourself another day tomorrow and you can get rid of it. Certainly, Lin Feng felt that maybe, tomorrow, the leader of this rubbish military unit would no longer be visible on the ranking list. After all, judging from the current rankings, leaders who have awakened high-level units have begun to exert their strength. One day tomorrow, there will be a day when the gap between leaders who have awakened high-level arms and leaders who have awakened low-level arms will continue to widen. On the leader-level ranking list, there will be competition between leaders who have awakened high-level units. However, I have been leveling up all day today. Lin Feng did not collect any resources, moreover, his violent war elephant is a combat type and is not suitable for collection. On the contrary, he killed wild monsters and got a lot of meat. In addition to ordinary level meat, Lin Feng killed level 3 wild monsters and also collected a lot of excellent level meat. It's just that he has eaten a lot of excellent level meat, and now he can no longer eat it. Looking at the meat stored in the warehouse, Lin Feng opened the world communication channel. Ask me, is there any recipient who is willing to exchange wood and stone for meat? I eat a lot of meat. Lin Feng's speech immediately attracted the attention of many leaders. After all, among the current leaders on the leaderboard, he is the only one who is active on the world communication channel. In addition, when he just traveled through time in the morning, Lin Feng revealed that he had awakened an S-level leadership talent, which immediately made many people remember him. After all, even among billions of leaders, there are very few people who have awakened their S-level leader talent. A leader like Lin Feng who has awakened his S-level leader talent will undoubtedly become a big boss in the future. I'm going, Boss Lin Feng has appeared. Big Boss Lin Feng finally bubbled up. Boss Lin Feng is so awesome. In just one day, he has already reached the 6th position in the ranking list. What did I say this morning? Boss Lin Feng must have a place on the ranking list. How many wild monsters did Mr. Lin Feng kill in one day? There is so much meat that I can't even finish it, and I have to trade it. I envy the boss. At the end of the day, the meat I collected by killing wild monsters was just enough for me and my troops. Boss Lin Feng, for example, had already exchanged meat for resources to upgrade his territory. That's right, don't even look at what type of weapon Boss Lin Feng has awakened, the violent war elephant. Without killing so many wild monsters, how could you reach the 6th place in the leader level? Yours is not a high-level unit, how can you compare with Boss Lin Feng? With the appearance of Lin Feng, on the World Communication Channel, many leaders appeared one after another, shouting one after another. At this time, I watched all the leaders on the communication channel praise themselves. Lin Feng was also very proud, but still modestly. Everyone deserves a prize. My arms are just holy level arms, nothing like that. Compared with the big guys at the top, there are still many gaps. Boss Lin Feng is too humble. Yes, listen to the words of Mr. Lin Feng, holy soldiers are nothing. Is this human talk? This makes me, who has only awakened the goblin soldier, feel so embarrassed. The violent war elephant is a holy level soldier. Boss Lin Feng is still not satisfied. Yeah, if I were allowed to awaken the holy level arms, maybe I would be on the ranking list now. The speaker has no intention, the listener has intention. At this time, you see the next two messages. Lin Feng couldn't help but have a hint of displeasure on his face. Do these people think that they can reach 6th place in the leader rankings just by relying on their violent war elephants? Doesn't it have anything to do with yourself? You know, although the holy level arms are also high level arms, but above the holy level, there are also emperor levels and even demigods. Among the billions of leaders, there must be many leaders who have awakened holy level troops. Lin Feng is sure that he is ranked among his previous leaders at this moment. There must be people who have awakened the emperor level arms, and maybe there are also leaders who have awakened the demigod arms. With only the holy level troops, on the first day he entered the leader world, he ranked 6th on the leader ranking list. Doesn't this rely on one's own efforts? Chapter 30. This. Isn't that right? The rubbish army territory that I trampled under my feet is. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. You know, for the sake of leveling up, today, Lin Feng basically didn't rest much. he was always commanding his war elephants, how to chase and intercept low-level wild monsters. If it weren't for his command, how could the violent war elephant kill so many wild monsters in one day? At this moment, Lin Feng's level is 999/1000, it's only 1 point away from the second level. After the meat in his stomach is digested a little, and he eats another piece of excellent level meat, he will get points from it and be promoted to the second level lord. Lin Feng, to be honest, I'm not being Versailles. In your opinion, the holy level troops are of a very high level. But in fact, above the holy level, there are also emperor level and semi-god troops. After today's experience, I believe many people have also realized the gap between high-level troops and low-level troops. The higher the level of the troops, the easier it is to level up. What I want to say is that for the lords on the lord ranking list at this moment, compared with the arms of other lords, my arms, the violent war elephants, are really nothing. After Lin Feng finished speaking, many lords thought about it. It seems to be true. After listening to what Boss Lin Feng said, I suddenly realized. Speaking of this, it is really not easy for Boss Lin Feng to rank among the top 6 lords with holy arms. Indeed, there must be more than one lord who awakened the holy arms. But only Boss Lin Feng is on the list, which is enough to prove that Boss Lin Feng is very strong. Doesn't this mean that the arms of the lords ahead of Boss Lin Feng at this moment, their final growth level is above the holy level? Not only that, didn't you hear Boss Lin Feng say that there might be demigod arms among them? Oh my god, Master Lin Feng, with his saint-level arms, ranked 6th despite competing with the lords who had awakened their demigod arms. This is too amazing. Excuse me, Master Lin Feng, how many points do you need to upgrade to the second level? Seeing this information, Lin Feng couldn't help but smile slightly. Very good, these people finally realized that it's not their arms that are amazing, it's themselves as lords. Lin Feng, my current points are 999/1000, and I only need 1 point to upgrade to the second level lord. Oh my god, no way. Master Lin Feng only needs 1 point to upgrade to the second level lord. I thought that Master Lin Feng was still a little short of upgrading to a second level lord, but he was only 1 point away. Doesn't this mean that Master Lin Feng is almost no different from the 5 masters who are already second level lords? That's right. Like the 5 second level masters in front, Master Lin Feng is also a pervert. On the first day of entering the Lord world, he upgraded the Lord level to just a little short of the second level. So terrifying. No, you are all wrong. Master Lin Feng's troops are only holy level troops. These second level masters in front may have awakened troops of the emperor level or even the semi-god level. With the holy level troops, he is catching up with these masters. In this way, Master Lin Feng is still more powerful. Everyone was amazed. At this moment, even some lords who have awakened high-level arms, although they have not appeared on the World Communication Channel, are paying attention to the information on the World Communication Channel. They can't help but secretly marvel in their hearts. They regard Lin Feng as their future rival. Lin Feng himself is also secretly proud at this moment. However, although Lin Feng is a little proud, he has not forgotten his purpose. Today, he has been busy killing monsters and leveling up all day, and has not collected any resources. At this moment, everyone is shocked by his own strength. It is a good time for him to exchange meat for wood and stone resources. I must be facing a lord like me who has great growth potential and is likely to become a big boss in the future. Many lords who have awakened low-level arms are willing to cling to him and make friends. Lin Feng obviously understands it. Only by raising the level of the territory can his barracks produce more violent elephants. The gap between himself and those big guys who have awakened top-level arms will be further narrowed. Even better than them. After all, Lin Feng had just looked at it. In the territory rankings, no one has upgraded their territory to a first-class village. In this case, territory ranking first. This honor, I will accept it with reluctance. And just when Lin Feng was about to propose again to exchange meat for wood and stone resources, at this time, a message suddenly appeared on the World Communication Channel. Seeing this message, Lin Feng was stunned. Then, a trace of shame and anger appeared on his face. Boss Lin Feng is indeed very strong. But everyone, don't forget that the Lord talent awakened by Boss Lin Feng is an S-level talent. Territory increase. So, in my opinion, the reason why Boss Lin Feng is comparable to those bosses who have awakened the Emperor-level arms is mainly because Boss Lin Feng's Lord talent is powerful. Lin Feng. I asked you to analyze it for me. I awakened an S-level talent, that is also my strength. If you have the ability, you can also awaken an S-level talent. The Lord of the Rubbish Army territory below me has also obtained the SSS level talent of the world reward. I don't see how powerful he is, but he is still trampled under my feet. Why don't you say anything? Lin Feng didn't expect that the speech of this lord would be praised by many lords. Yes, if you ask me, the army is important, but the lord's talent is more important. Boss Lin Feng is a good role model. Although he only awakened the Holy Army, he crushed many bosses who awakened the Emperor Army with the S-level Lord talent and ranked 6th in the Lord rankings. So, if the Lord talent you awakened is not bad, work hard. Maybe the next boss Lin Feng will be you and me. Lin Feng. Why does the painting style seem a little wrong? This is not over yet. At this time, another lord, as Lin Feng wished, mentioned the Lord of the Garbage Army territory. The above, we seem to have overlooked someone. Everyone, take a look at the Garbage Army territory ranked in the Lord rank. In my opinion, if we talk about awesomeness, the most awesome one is actually the Lord of this Garbage Army territory. Tisk the Garbage Army territory, the awakened soldiers are not good soldiers at first glance, among the many big guys who have awakened the Holy and Emperor level soldiers, but they are firmly at the top of the rankings. This guy is not simple. So, this guy is actually the most awesome one. That's right, this guy is the only one among our lords who have awakened low-level soldiers who can compete with the big guys who have awakened top-level soldiers. Sorry, I admit that in the morning, when I saw that this Garbage Army territory received the only SSS level talent rewarded by the world, I was jealous. Now, I want to solemnly announce one thing. I want to apologize to the owner of this Garbage Army territory. In addition, from now on, I will take him as an example. Me too. Me too. +1. On the World Communication Channel, many lords who have awakened low-level arms have flooded the screen. Thanks to Lin Feng's analysis just now. Otherwise, everyone doesn't understand the value of the top lord rankings. That is a stage where only the big guys who have awakened high-level arms can stand on it. And now, among the many big guys who have awakened high-level arms, there is a lord who has awakened low-level arms, and he also stands on this stage. On the lord rankings, the only lord who has awakened low-level arms, at this moment, the light emitted by his territory name is so dazzling. Many people are in awe of this Lord of the Garbage Army territory. At this time, watching the World Communication Channel, more and more people are flooding the screen, saying that they want to take the Lord of the Garbage Army territory as an example, Lin Feng. Lin Feng was suddenly dumbfounded. This doesn't seem right. Window_tabula equals window_tabula_tabula.push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula below article feed, placement, below article feed, target_type, mix.